all business from here on in. All business from here on in. What you're looking at, what your eyes are perceiving. Hold on, let me get into frame. Let me get into frame. Usually, when you see me on this show, I got a big smile on my face. I'm Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. I couldn't be more happy and thankful and grateful to be in front of you people. And I am certainly recognizing the gratefulness that I am still in front of you. Don't get me that wrong. Don't starting over. I'm pissed off. Well, I'm not pissed. See, I'm not articulating myself in the perfect manner, so let me start this over. This is the biggest day there is in terms of football. This is this is a pivotal moment in what is fantasy football, what is football betting. Are we gonna show up or are we gonna shit up? Are we gonna throw up or are we gonna shit up? You know what I mean? I can feel it. I can feel the importance in my fingertips. And I want to do the right thing for you all. I want to do the right thing for you all, but I can't even do the right thing for myself. Let's reel it back. Let's tell the people what this is. This right here, this shit right here, this is a tea time tailgate. And I'm your host, Tony Murr. If you are watching this, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, if you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan, if you are a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, if you are a football fan, if you are a fan of money, if you like more cashish in your account, in your wallet, in your pocket than when you have started before, then you are officially teed up. Teed up. This is Tea Time. I am your host, Tony Murr, and we stream. We live stream around here. And what this live stream is, it's a 3-day a week event. Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, where I'm live commentating. And then you get a little special Hershey kiss on top on Sunday mornings because this is our version of an NFL pregame show. This right here is the Tea Time Tailgate, and this is week 14. What the Tea Time Tailgate is best bets for NFL, fantasy football advice, and overall optimization of your football Sundays, because we take football Sundays very, very seriously around here. And that's something that I do not take lightly. If you look at the record right here, we're on a bit of a skid. The Motor Locks were 8-2. Now we have lost 2 in a row. I'm falling farther and farther away from 50%. I'm on a snide. I'm cold. And this is the most pivotal week so far. Usually I'm like, let's have fun. Who cares about everything on Sundays? I care about a lot today. We have fantasy football, last day of the regular season or last week of the regular season. So we need to get that absolutely right to make sure that we're going to the fantasy football playoffs. And also, if you're on a skid like me, this is a time where you need to nut up or shut up. You need to show out. You need to rise to the occasion. And that's exactly what we're here to do today. So on a day like a football Sunday, I'm usually telling you, go underneath the covers, get all comfy, maybe a bag of popcorn next to you, sit back and relax. We're not doing that. I need you to get dressed up nicely today because we're not letting any sort of slobbiness get into the way right here. Don't put on your sweatpants, put on a pair of jeans. Don't put on a sweatshirt, put on a sweater. Because we're rising up a level. We're rising up to the occasion, and our outfit is going to show it. You're going to go get together with some friends because you need friends here to set you right and also to help propel you. Because you can just sit home and wallow and be like, my fantasy team stinks. I'm never going to win a championship. Why do I keep playing? None of my bets are going to ever win. Why am I so stupid? Why do I keep doing this? Your friends are going to tell you this is exactly what you need to do. This bet right here, we're doing it together and we're banding together as a band of brothers on this right here, get together in the right direction. Let's go. All right, so what I need to do for you all is I need to put on a performance today. I need to give you the right things and no longer the wrong things. I've been doing the wrong things. Let's do the right things, and let's start with football. Let's start the only way we know how to, with football. Okay. See, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I wrote down so many games today. This is what I do. About an hour before the show starts, I go into my DraftKings, or no, sorry, we ain't a DraftKings household around here. This is a FanDuel household. I go to my FanDuel and I look at the spreads. I look at the games. I write down the game. I write down the spread. I write down the over under, and then I have my two picks. If I don't know what I like in that game, I'll move on. There were so many games I wrote down. I did not know what to do. What we can rest our laurels on, what we can be really, really happy about is we have some great football games today. Some really important football games today, almost playoff-like football games today. So let's get into the football. Enough about me, let's get into the football. The first game in the 1 o'clock slate, it's the Commanders at the Vikings. Vikings plus 1.5. The over-under is 43.5. J.J. McCarthy is coming back off of his fake concussion protocol. They wanted to soft bench him, try out the guy Brosmer. Brosmer is even worse than J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, you're back in there. We can maybe win a game with you. We've done it twice before. Maybe we can win another game with you. So we're gonna try our hand. You no longer have a concussion. We tell you when you have a concussion. You don't even know when you have a concussion. You had a concussion last week. Now you don't. Now you're playing in the game. You 9 fella. You want to go by 9? We'll call you 9. On the other hand, the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, he's playing. He's playing today. He's back. He dislocated his non-throwing hand, or his non-throwing elbow, much like that guy Pantoja last night. If there's any UFC MMA fans in the chat, let me know. Let me know if you saw that gross dislocation of an elbow. My guy Mike O'Brien in the chat, he said that wasn't that bad. He said that wasn't that bad when it happened. Both him and Jaden Daniels are going in the wrong direction. But Jaden Daniels is back, and I like that about him because it shows he's a football player. If he wasn't a football player, he'd want to sit out the rest of the season. Their team's already out of it. He wants to play. This is where the indecision starts. I think the Commanders are a better team than the Vikings right now. I think they had a good game against the Broncos last week. I think Jaden Daniels coming back from an injury, I think he wants to play. He's a winner. He won a lot of games for their team last year. You would think he wants to get in and win. I do not. This is such a coin flip. This is such a coin flip. I really don't know about this game. What I do know is that the Commanders' defense stinks. I'm going with the Vikings actually. I don't because I can't quit on them until I get my victory. I've bet on them in the past. That 9 fella has fucked me over time and time again. I'm going back on this guy. I think they're going to run the football a lot today. The Commanders' defense is bad against the run. So I'm going with the Vikings today. I'm adding another pick as well. The over 43.5. The Commanders have a bad defense. I do not like the Commanders in this one. And this guy is getting in the end zone. Ryan, I'm getting to you in a sec. Let me finish this. So there's two. Like I said, the running defense for the Commanders is bad. We need to get a running back for the Vikings into the end zone. You think it's Aaron Jones because he has lesser odds, or his odds are more favorable. He's plus like 145 to get in the end zone. He's not their goal line back. They're going to run the ball. They're going to throw it, pound the rock against this Commanders team. And who you do that with? You do it with Jordan Mason. Plus 230 to get a touchdown. That's some good odds to start the day. So I'm going to get to Ryan's question right here. He asks, Egbuka or Alec Pierce? Worried about the left tackle being out for the Bucks and heavy rain for the Colts game. Standard league. Yeah, I don't love Pierce, especially in a standard league. No PPR. I think Egbuka has more of a chance. He's got more upside. I'm definitely going Egbuka in that one. I think this kind of goes into a pick later on. I think that Saints-Bucks game is going to be close. I think the Jags Colts game is going to be close too. But I like Egbuka because I think he can at least get in the end zone. You don't really see Pierce getting in the end zone that much. I'm going with Egbuka in that one. So my picks for this Commanders-Vikings game, I got the Vikings plus 1.5. I got the over 43.5, and I got a Jordan Mason touchdown. 3 picks to start your day. All right, we're going to move on to the next game. It's the Titans at the Browns. Stink versus stunk, shit versus poop, crap versus caca. And the caca, the Browns, I mean, it's in the name, -3.5 at home, over under 33.5. Have you ever seen a lower over under in a football game? Ryan, if you are not subscribed, can I get a subscription for that answer? Actually, you know what you should do? If Egbuka outscores Pierce, that's when you give me the subscription. I want to earn it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to this Browns game. 33.5 is downright disrespectful. That is saying these teams, both these teams are horrible at playing football, which they are. Bottom 3 teams in the league. Browns, Titans, Raiders, they are all so damn bad. And this is a game that you're not going to watch 1 second of. I was expecting some line movement. I wanted to see the line move one way or the other. It stayed at 3.5. I think the Browns defense is that damn good where if the Jags defense could hold the Titans to 3 points last week, how many points are you going to score against the Browns defense? Probably the best defense in the league if it's not the Texans. So I'm going with the Browns -3.5. It doesn't feel good for the Browns to be a favorite in any situation, but this is probably the only situation. They were favored against the Raiders, and they were favored against the Titans. This is a bet that this prop bet I absolutely love. It's not put on here correctly. This is a bet that you want to throw everything on. We're throwing everything on early, and it's you think to yourself, why am I going to throw it on something like this? It's because it gets you paid. Like I said, we're all business today. I'm just doing the right things at the right time for you, the people. We're getting rid of everything that was. We tried that mustache shit last week. That didn't work. Now it's just down to business. What we're doing here, Cedric Tillman, he's Stillman. He's still that man. Cedric Tillman, receiver on the Browns, over 16.5 receiving yards. He's gonna do it. He's gonna have a couple catches today. He's gonna have at least 3 catches today. And if that does not equal 17 yards, you might as well shoot him, get him off the team, because you're not doing shit for us, pal. Okay, we are through those 2 games. Those 2 games are pretty shitty. Those are bad games. Those are 4 bad teams that aren't going to make the playoffs. These are teams that are exciting. If you watch Tea Time, if you are a Tea Time fan, on Thursday night, this was my game of the week. We got Michael Bryan in the chat. We're going Devin Neal, Rodriguez, or Jordan Mason. That's a shit situation. That's a shit sandwich right there. Devin Neal, Jordan Mason as the bread with Rodriguez in the middle. That is a shit sandwich. I don't think none of these guys are going to score over 10 or 11 fantasy points. It's just who's going to have the least amount. Neal is the least, I feel like, going to be the only guy that gets the ball for the Saints. Mason, I did say, is going to get a touchdown. I'm going to go with Mason in that one. If I were to rank it, I'm going Mason, Neal, Rodriguez. God bless you, Mike, for having to play any one of those guys. I hope it's not the 8-man league. All right, moving to this game. This is my game. This was Tony Murray's game of the week, Tea Time's game of the week. This is going to be the most fun game of the week. Bengals at Bills. The Bills are -5.5 points at home. The over-under is 53.5. The Bills, I think, are rounding into form. I think they're going to be in the AFC Championship game. We have not seen the best football yet from the Bills, and they've gone up, they've gone down. They've had some bad wins. They've had they've had some bad losses. They've had some bad losses. Some wins that they should win. They're 8-4. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're still one of the best teams in the AFC. I don't care what you've seen yet. Mikey, this ain't the time for getting sad. This is the time for getting right. We're going down to business. I don't care about your feelings right now. This is something where I have to tell you like it is. We're going to be happier than we were at the start of today. And the reason for me being so serious and me being kind of pissed off in a ticked off sort of mood is because of that Ohio State kicker. Get him off the team. Get him off the team. Bengals at Bills. Going back to this. The Bengals, on the other hand, they get their their prodigent son, Joe Burrow, back. He was great last week against the Ravens, and that was his first game after missing 10 weeks of football, 3 months of football. He's only going to get better. I think the Bengals, they go on a little bit of a run. This game, I still think the Bills probably win this game, but the Bengals are going to keep it close. It's going to be a game where the Bills are dominating, but the Bengals are keeping them in it. There's going to be a lot of points in this game, too. It's going to be really fun to watch. I got 2 picks on the spread over-under. I got the Bengals in this one. I got the over 53.5. Those feel like really square picks, but I'm putting a square peg in a square hole. I'm going into the right section, so it just feels right to do. The Bengals are going to keep it close. There's going to be a lot of points. It's going to go back and forth. Burrow is going to show out for his team. I'm going to write this down. Burrow over passing yards. I'm going to write this down. Over passing yards. I had 2 write-downs in the middle of the show last week. One was a hit, one was a loss. So we'll see what we come up with right now. That's our first write-down. And this is... So I have a couple prop picks, and I wanted to make one of these prop picks my mortal lock, but that goes against my morals. That goes against my morals for the mortal lock. It goes against my ethos. I gotta pick it on a game. I can't do a prop bet for a mortal lock. It doesn't feel right. But this is a mortal lock. This is something where, even though the odds are terrible, you want to put up a lot of money it's like an investment. Think about an investment where you put up $200, you get $100 back. And this is James Cook touchdown. He's minus 190 to get in the end zone today. You really want to get him in there. This is something where the Bills, snowing in the Buffalo game. That's fun. That's fun. I still like the over. I still like the over. The guys on defense, they can't make quick adjustments. I like the over in that game still. Okay? But this is a game, or this is a player that's definitely finding the end zone. He had about 150 yards rushing last week, and he did not get in the end zone. The Bills are a team that they like to give touchdowns to people that they think deserve it, that did not get touchdowns the week before, and we got him getting in the end zone. What I want to parlay with that, if you say, I don't really like those odds that much, I don't want to put up 200 to get 100, even though if you have 50% return on investments is typically good when you look at the overall S&P 500, we're going to parlay that with the Josh Allen touchdown. He's minus 155 to get in the end zone. You can bet that separately as well. But them together, Bam and Bam plus 179. If that tickles your fancy a little bit more, if that makes you feel a little bit better about doing it, then go ahead. Then go ahead and do it and parlay. But if you want to be safe, if you want to do the right thing, if you say, I'm going to be smart about my money, smart about my investments, if we do our fiduciary obligation, shout out to the fiduciary. I was at his house last night. We're going to do just minus 190 on James Cookie Cook getting in there. Speaking of cookie cooks, I had about 12,000 cookies last night. I can't remember the last time I've been that full. It was a disgusting performance, but God, did I love it. Carl, you had to take off the food at some point. Leaving it in front of me, that was where I went wrong. Or you went wrong. I think I went wrong. Okay, we're moving on. Seahawks at Falcons. Falcons plus 6.5, over under 44.5 points. So this is what I want to say to you all. I've been on a skid. I've been cold. I know it firsthand. You know it if you're a fan of the show. But we're looking to turn the tides. Last week, what I tried to do to turn the tides was I had my Movember, I had my, what's it called? I had my mustache. See? That's how. I had my mustache going for my No Shave November. What I tried to do was to get rid of the dry spell, to get rid of the coldness, was shave off the mustache. That didn't work. So what do people do in the morning to kind of reset themselves? This is the start of a new day. This kind of resets the neural pathways, gives you a little shock to the system and says, I'm ready for today. I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. Shout out my guy, Ashton Hall. They do a little ice bucket. So I looked at this Falcons-Seahawks game for about 10 minutes, and I couldn't come up with a damn pick. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dunk my head in this ice bath, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what my first thought is right after I come out of it. Ready? All right. All right, I should know what I want to do now. Okay. All right. Some people say you shouldn't have a open bowl of water in a computer room, but this is what we have to do. This is what it's come down to. Okay. Seahawks at Falcons. Falcons plus 6.5. I like the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks in this one. God damn it, I already don't like it. I don't think that ice bath friggin' worked. I'm going with the Seahawks in this one. This is going against my guy, Mikey Pudre. He's been a former guest of the show. His pick of the week was the Falcons. I like the Seahawks in this one. I think they're a much better team. The Falcons defense is bad. I can see them winning by a touchdown in this one. I'm going with the Seahawks. And this is what we're doing. Shout out my guy Johnny Cash on this prop bet pick. We're going to walk the line on this pick. We're going to figure out, we're walking the line all day. And this is a walk of a line of a pick because you always say, is it going to be this guy for a touchdown? Is it going to be this guy for a touchdown? Which Seahawks running back is going to find the end zone? It's going to be Kenneth Walker this week. It's the walk the line, Kenneth Walker touchdown pick, prop bet pick, plus 110. Shout out Johnny Cash. You might have to throw on the song before the game. I walk the line. We're getting Walker in the end zone today. So hopefully, let's see how that ice bath thing works. All right, we're going to the next game here. Dolphins at Jets. Jets plus 2.5 at home. And the over-under is 41.5 points. The Jets have been looking better as of recently. Tyrod Taylor is a little bit better than Justin Fields. You hate to say that if you're a Justin Fields fan or Justin Fields himself. The Dolphins also are looking better too. They're 5-7. They have an outside chance to make the playoffs. I think they're much more motivated to win this game than the Jets are. The Jets, I mean, they're both kind of playing with like a fuck itness to it where there's nothing really to lose at this point. Let's just put it, balls on the line. I like the Dolphins here. A lot of people are on the Jets. I like the Dolphins. I think they want to win this game more. And they've been looking a little bit better. They've been looking, I think, better than the Jets, and they've been looking better than their past Dolphins self. I'm going to have a touchdown parlay with running backs today. This is a guy that's a part of it. He's absolutely going to get in the end zone. He had an Instagram caption within the last week, and this is something that I want to use myself, and I think you all should use. And the caption was a picture of him, and it said, "Mama didn't need a gender reveal. She always knew I was him." So he's going to get in the end zone. He is him. It's Devon Achane, minus 150 to get a touchdown. I don't care if the odds aren't in our favor. He's going to get in the end zone today for us. And we're going to have a running back specific parlay of touchdowns later on. I'm going to put that together for you. All right. Next game. All right. So we are halfway through the show here. Let's see how many picks we got left. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, we're doing this thing. I think we're on the right track here. All right, Steelers at Ravens. Interdivision matchup, AFC North matchup. Ravens minus 5.5 at home. The over/under is 43.5 points. Oh man. Wait, I'm trying to get myself. Can't go down any farther. Can't go up anymore. I just want to get that front and center. I want to get that look front and center. Okay. The Ravens did not look good, and they have not looked good, even though Lamar has returned. I still think he's pretty banged up. I don't think he's the same Lamar, a fully healthy Lamar that we're used to seeing. The Steelers, on the other hand, they could not have looked worse last week. That was one of the worst performances that they had all year. And I think their team and their fan base is ready to quit on them. They scored 1 touchdown last week. They could not look worse. Aaron Rodgers was blaming teammates in his press conference, saying that people aren't running the right routes, that they're not doing the right things, and like that, it looks like a dumpster fire. However, they are tied. These two teams are tied for first place in the AFC North. Either one of these teams can win the division and be in the playoffs still. I think everyone thinks that the Steelers are done, that the Steelers' season is over, that Tomlin's going to be out of there soon. Tomlin could be out of there, but this is a spot where Tomlin knows how to find his spot. 5.5 in this type of game, it's too many points. It's too many points, especially, it's an interdivision matchup, but especially between these two teams. If you asked either of these coaches before or after the game, John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin, about playing each other, they're always hard-fought battles. I got to go with the Steelers in this one. I really like this pick. I think it's too many points. I could even see the Steelers winning this game. But the thing is, I think they're going to be facing up against each other later on in the season. This game does not necessarily give you the division winner, so it's still going to be a toss-up. I like the Steelers maybe even to win this game, but definitely covering the 5.5 points. I think that's too many, even though they looked horrible last week. And then this is a guy, this is going along with my theme of the day, where you want to give up a little bit more money to still get that rate of return, because these people are going to find the end zone no matter how you shake it, no matter which way you look, no matter your type of vision. You could have 20/20 vision. You could be blind. You could have 20/15 vision. I don't know if that's a thing, but like it's a little bit less than 20/20 in my opinion. Derrick Henry is going to get in the end zone today. The Steelers' defense is horrible against the run. Derrick Henry is going to find the end zone today. You can book that. He's getting in there along with these other running backs as well. Moving on, moving to the next game, another interdivision matchup, third interdivision matchup in a row on the Tea Time Tailgate. I'm going to get that in focus just a little bit more. Oh, wow, I didn't know I was looking that good today. Hold on. That ain't right. I remember when I said earlier that this is all business? Don't be afraid to crack a smile still. It's not that important. But let's get back on track. That is a count of the amount of food that I ate last night. It was gross. I loved every second. Maybe not every second. Colts at Jaguars. Indianapolis Colts versus Jacksonville Jaguars. AFC South matchup. Jaguars plus 1.5 at home. The over-under is 44.5 points. This is going to be a good game. So I am biased in this game. I need to say this first and foremost. I had 4 division winners. I picked 4 division winners for futures at the beginning of this year. And one of them was the Jacksonville Jaguars to win their division. I love Liam Cohen going in here. I think he's been doing a great job getting this team around. They were horrible last year. I think they're a playoff team this year. Surefire playoff team. So I bet the Jags, I think it was plus 275 to win their division. So this is the biggest division matchup that they've had so far. These teams play 2 more times before the end of the year, so this is a big indication as to who's going to win this division. So, I mean, my heart is going to be with the Jags. I still think the Jags win this game. I think they have a great pass rush. I think their defense is better than they think. There we go, Riley. There we go, Riley. I just had that pick. I wish you saw it. I had the Seahawks as well. But the Jaguars, I think, are honestly the better team than the Colts. The Colts came out hot. The Colts came out firing. Daniel Jones is battling a leg injury right now. He can't do what he used to do. They can crowd the box and send a lot of people against them. Jonathan Taylor isn't able to run like he used to. I think the Jags win this game. I think the Jags are trending up while the Colts are trending down. Even though I'm biased, I still think I want to pick the Jaguars to win this. And this is a guy, talk about guys that you can't quit. I cannot quit on this guy. If you drafted this guy in fantasy, you've been motherfucking him all season because you spent a very high draft pick on him and he has not performed even close to expectations. However, the number 3 receiver for the Jaguars is hurt this week. This is a guy that found a lot of love when this guy went down. Parker Washington is hurt. So they're going to have to look for this guy more. He's going to have to step up to the plate, especially in a big game like this. It's BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. He's going to have over 43.5 receiving yards. He does not catch the ball that much. He doesn't get that many receptions, but he can go 3 catches for 60 yards, and then we hit our bet. We do the Macarena. We go. All right. Do you see? I got the new coat on too. I'm like, that's how desperate I am for a win. We got the ice bucket over here. We got the jacket on. God damn, we're trying to figure something out. All right. So that is the end of our 1 o'clock slate. We are moving to the 4 o'clock slate. This first game, another interdivision matchup. I don't know, are there this many interdivision matchups on a week-to-week basis? There's four. Or let's count it. No, there's more than four because the Saints and the Bucks, Dolphins, Jets, Steelers, Ravens, Colts, Jags, Broncos, Raiders. There's five interdivision matchups. We just started the 4 o'clock slate. So it's Broncos at Raiders. Raiders plus 7.5 at home. The over-under is 40.5. The Raiders, whether you're a Raiders fan, whether you're a Raiders coach, whether you're in the front office or a player on the team, if you have the option to play the remaining 5 or so games they have on the schedule, or just quit and go on vacation, just quit and say that was a good season from us, or this is a season that we'd rather forget, they would choose just to forego playing any of these last games. Even if they could make more money from playing them, they don't even want to do it. This is a sad and abysmal team. The Broncos, on the other hand, are one of the best teams in the NFL. People have been down them all year. They're 11-2 or 10-2. They keep winning games. They have their defense against the Raiders offense. The Raiders offense is like we talk about units on this show, where it's defensive units, offensive units, who's better than who. The Raiders offensive unit might be the worst unit in football. The Broncos, on the other hand, have a great defense. The Broncos have a decent enough offense. This is going to be a rout. It's not even going to be close. Please don't even put this game on because it's going to be disgusting. The Broncos only getting 7.5 points is ridiculous. Even though that it's an interdivision game and it's a away game, I think this should be probably closer to 10. Take the Broncos minus 7.5. They're going to win this game so easily. Whatever their team total, so the over-under is 40.5 for this game. That's a low over-under. I don't even think it's because the Raiders, they're not going to score over 14 points. The Broncos, on the other hand, their team total is probably around like 23 or 24. Take the over there. I think they can score 4 touchdowns today. All right, moving on. Oh, no. Not moving on. Hold on. This is part of my running back touchdown parlay. There's going to be multiple touchdowns for the Broncos in this game. This guy is going to be one of the few guys to get in there for the Broncos. R.J. Harvey Oswald. Why is that? He was an important political figure. I think he shot someone. Oh, it's Lee Harvey Oswald. That's the guy. Wow, he was a U.S. Marine. That's interesting. He assassinated JFK. Lee Harvey Oswald. Either way, no matter what happened in history, today's a mystery, or yesterday was a mystery. Let's take the present right now. I'm screwing up a lot of things right now, just kind of being a little sloppy. Let's tighten it up. R.J. Harvey getting in the end zone, minus 115. And we got Courtland Sutton getting in there as well. Courtland Sutton and R.J. Harvey both get in the end zone. Don't parlay it, bet it separately. Can't parlay it if you get in douchey. Courtland Sutton's plus 170 to get in the end zone. I like him today too. Moving on to the next game, another interdivision matchup. This is the 6th one of the day. It's a theme. Rams at Cardinals, NFC West matchup. I would love the Cardinals to win this one because of my future, but Rams at Cardinals. Cardinals plus 9.5 at home. Over under 48.5. That's a high over under. That's a high over under. Oh man. This was a game that I could not decide because you think 9.5's a lot for a interdivision matchup. The Rams just came off a bad loss. You think that they would clean up and take care of business how they should against this Cardinals team. The over-under is 48.5. The Rams were scoring at will against, honestly, a good Carolina Panthers defense last week. This was almost my mortal lock. It seemed too good to be true. I'm afraid it might be, but I still think this is what we want to do. The Rams team total over in the first half is 14.5 points. I'm not sure how that makes sense given the over-under is 48.5. It doesn't make sense to me. Most people would say if it doesn't make sense, go the other way, but I have to follow this scent. When you're scrolling through FanDuel and you find this sort of gem, you just got to take it and run. I really like this. Rams over 14.5 in the first half. That is my play for the game. And then this is a guy, Michael Wilson. Marvin Harrison Jr. is out, and they give this guy the ball. They can't run the ball, especially against a good D-line with the Rams. So they need to pass the ball a ton. This guy had 18 receptions the other week. You're going to want to have him boosted up over 6.5 receptions plus 120 for Wilson. He's going to do it. He's going to make you happy. Let's throw that on the card as well. All right, let's see what Riley's got for us. Oh, you can't wait to watch the Chiefs get eliminated when they lose in front of the whole world tonight. Man, Riley, I think that's another game where I don't know. The Texans have been looking so good. The Chiefs have been looking bad. Everyone thinks the Chiefs are going to get right. When are they going to get right? Or is their time come to an end? We will see. We're not there yet. We have 2 more games. We're almost there. All right. 7 interdivision matchups today. Bears at Packers. Packers minus 6.5 at home. The over-under is 43.5. This is a battle for first place. Whoever wins this game is going to be first place in the NFC North. The Bears have been completely outperforming expectations. Ben Johnson deserves a Purple Heart for taking on this Bears team and turning it around the way it is. He deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. When you talk about people that you want to build a team around, and you decide between the number 1 pick from 2 years ago, was it? Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, you pick Ben Johnson. He's the straw that stirs the drink. He's the difference maker on this team. He's been great. He's been so great for them. I think Caleb Williams is all right, but it's really Ben Johnson that has made the difference for this team, and I think the way that they played football this year has showed. The Packers, on the other hand, I was motherfucking them earlier this season. I was saying that they were frauds. I did not like their quarterback. And then they really turned things around. 6.5 is disrespectful to the Bears. You're right. The Packers, they've turned it around recently, though. They've been looking like a different football team. They've been winning games handedly. They beat the Lions pretty good last week on Thanksgiving. This is really a game where 6.5, I do think the Packers win this game. But 6.5, I think is too much. This is a game where I wrote it down. I did not know what I wanted to do. So this is what I do. To refresh, to reset, to get my mind right, we're going back for the cold plunge. So this is what I got to do where I don't know what pick I'm going with. I got to reset my mind, dunk my head in this hot, cold bucket of water, and then I'll have a pick. Bears plus 6.5. People don't think that they're a good team. They're 9-3. They're decent enough. Packers don't cover big spreads. Bears plus 6.5. I like that a lot. That's what we're doing. Okay. All right. Maybe the ice is gonna do me good. Mikey needs a water. He might have done that today. I can foresee a similar fate in his future. Local meat shop, Fadouche. All right, last game of the day, the night game, waiting all day for Sunday night game. It is the Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs minus 3.5 at home, over under 41.5. This is a tale of hot and cold. Hot being the Texans from Houston, cold being the Chiefs from Kansas City. If we look at the past, we see the Chiefs. They've been the best team for years and years. They're a dynasty. They keep winning. They keep winning AFC championships. They keep going to the Super Bowl. The Texans, on the other hand, they've been shitty for a while. They want their team to turn the corner, and this defense just might do enough to make this team turn the corner. So it's a tale of, are the Texans hot enough to overthrow the Chiefs and really ruin their playoff hopes and expectations? The Chiefs are 6-6. They need this win, or I think it's pretty much done for them. The Chiefs, on the other hand, are they going to show that this is going to this is we're going to continue to do what we've done in the past. What you've seen in the past, we'll continue to do. We might have slipped and fallen, but we get up. We're still the best team in football. We're still the best team in the AFC. Oh wait, I need to go back. I need to go back. I didn't get my prop bets for last. DJ Moore touchdown plus 250. We love those odds. This is a bet that we absolutely need to throw money on. The fact that one of their receivers, Rome Odunze, is hurt today, they need to find a trusty and true guy. Colston Loveland over 34 and a half receiving yards. We love that today. We love that. Throw big bucks on that. Buku bucks on that. All right, going back to this Chiefs-Texans game. Like I said, I write down the game, I write down the spread and the over-under, and then I look at it and I give a pick. I give my 2 picks. If I don't like anything, I will write it down and move on, but there's nothing to move on to. This was my last game. This is the last game of the day. So the fact that I don't know what I like, I'm going to, again, I don't care if it's a gimmick. You got to get gimmicky when you're on a cold streak like this. Speaking of cold, you got to get cold to get hot. You can't get hot if you got cold, if you're not cold first. So let's get this tucked up and under. All right. Here we go. This is going to tell me what I need to do. I'm going to dunk my head in the ice water, reset, revamp, and then when I come back up, I'm going to have a pick on the Texans, Chiefs, minus 3.5 on the Chiefs. Chiefs. I'm sorry, Riley, and I'm sorry to everyone out there. I know we want the Chiefs to lose. I know we want the Texans to win. But this is a game that the Chiefs don't lose. They're going to cover this game. Their offense is better than the defense of the Texans. I'm going with the Chiefs minus 3.5. And since it's prime time, and what guy likes prime time more than Mr. Prime Time himself? He's going out with the biggest pop star. He's engaged with the biggest pop star in the world right now, that girl Taylor Swift. We're going with Kelsey over 48.5 receiving yards in that one for the prop bet. So those are my picks for today. I hope that you're riding with me. I want to do the right thing by you guys. We've been cold. We need to switch up the tide. We need to get into the right direction and start moving forward. And I hope we can do it. We did the ice. We got the new coat. Let's see if it makes a difference. Now, to go to my mortal lock. As you can see from the record right here, I am 8-4 in my mortal locks this year. Great record, but not good enough. We're on a 2-game losing streak. We had the over in the Jaguars-Titans game. The Titans scored 3 points. That's not going to help us, and that was dumb for assuming that they could score points. This is not a dumb pick. This is a pick that I'm seeing very clearly, and I see what I need to see. We have an inter-division matchup. These are 2 coaches and 2 teams that have went up against each other and matched up time and time again for years and years. Probably over 50 games against each other. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. These teams always play close. You might think, we saw the Steelers last week. They were the worst team I ever seen. They couldn't score. They couldn't score touchdowns. Their team gave up on them. Tomlin, he doesn't care anymore. He's out. Aaron Rodgers calling out teammates in his post-game presser. However, I like to read between the lines and see things that happen between Sunday and Sunday. What I saw this week, and this is the major tidbit of information that I need to be passed on to you all, the T-timers. Even though people think there's at odds, there's a little bit of headbutting, clashing between teammates, between Aaron Rodgers and his offensive counterparts. The offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they went over to Aaron Rodgers' house to watch film this week. And it was Rodgers' birthday recently. They got him a birthday cake. It's all love in Pittsburgh. They rather call that city the city of brotherly love because a lot of love going on in that locker room. They are going to cover 5.5 points against the Ravens. That is too many points for this matchup. This is always close. I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers win. They will cover this game. I want you to be on this with me. My mortal lock, T Times mortal lock for week 14 is the Steelers plus 6 points. It's 5.5 now. Got it at 6. Still like it. 5.5, 6, don't matter against the Ravens. Over under food walks today, Fadoosh. I can't repeat what happened last night. I'm gonna go with 0. I might get a salad today. I might get a salad. I thought the fruit was helping me last night. It screwed me. It absolutely fucked me. I mean, the fruit I thought was negative eating, and that if you eat too much fruit, it turns into positive eating. All right, so that concludes the pick portion of my show today. What I want to leave with is fantasy. If you have any fantasy questions, throw them in the chat. But I also want to show you my fantasy matchups going into today because I'm in do or die playoff situations here. If I win, I'm in both of these leagues. If I lose, I still have a chance, but doesn't look good. All right, this team, I'm going to share my screen with you all. Screen capture, no. Window capture, yes. That's great. All right. So we're looking at the fantasy team right now. We're looking at the fantasy team. Hold on. Scoreboard. All right, so this is the matchup right here. Don't laugh. This is my team, and I am 7-6. So this is my family league where I'm the commissioner. I typically don't have a great team, honestly, but I have a chance to make the playoffs today. If I win, I am in. What I like to do is a little head-to-head to see who's going to win each of these matchups. So Jared Goff, you already went 16.16 points against Baker in New Orleans. I like Baker in that one. Is Omarion Hampton playing? I think he is. All right, so Achane versus Hampton. I'm going to give him Achane in that one. It's 1-1 on the matchups. Josh Jacobs versus Manungai. I'm going to give him Josh Jacobs. It's so scary, Riley. I'm scared right now. 2-1 in matchups. I'm giving him Jacobs over Manungai. Jerry Jeudy versus Brian Thomas Jr. Jerry Judy's been awful. I got to give it to BTJ. 2-2 in matchups, in my opinion. Devontae Adams versus Terry McLaurin. Got to give it to Devontae. He's been on fire. 3-2. Dalton Schultz versus Colston Loveland. I'm going to give myself the nod with Loveland on that one. 3-3. Bam Knight, 2 Cardinals going against each other versus Michael Wilson without a Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to go with Wilson on that one. That is 4-3, advantage me. We got Buccaneers D going against New Orleans and Jets D going against Miami. I would say, I'm willing to say wash with either of these. Am I making a mistake? Am I making a mistake not playing any of these guys? Having this guy in particular on a bye this week is really hurtful. I mean, it's diabolical to have a week 14 bye and this guy is, if you have him on your team, he's been absolutely carrying your team. And if you need to make it into the playoffs and he's not there, oh my God, he's like an absentee father. Right when you need him, he's gone. The projections, he's projected 123. I'm projected 98. Don't pay attention to the ESPN projections. Pay attention to my unbiased picks. Pay attention to my unbiased matchups. Am I making a mistake not playing any of these guys? This guy, the only thing that I can think of is an Adonai Mitchell over BTJ, but that's being a douchey. That's being a douchebag. I'm riding this. All right, let me show you my other matchup. Doing that stuff in your face. Tell me what team name you like better. Chicken Parm on wheels or doing that stuff in your face. All right, this is another winning in a 7-6 team right here. I'm going against one of my best friends one of my best friends and the commissioner of the league, Josh. And we had the same exact matchup last week. It was basically whoever wins this is going to be in. He's projected 127. I'm projected 122. Let's do the matchups again. Bo Nix going against Tyrod Taylor. Going to give Bo Nix the nod right there. Josh Jacobs going against Chase Brown. I'm going to give Josh Jacobs the nod right there. 21.3 points. My God. So he's up 2-1. He's up 2-0 in these matchups. Javonte Williams already went. He got 14.7. RJ, I'm going to give him the nod right there. RJ Harvey, he's 3-0 in the matchups. Nico Collins going against Puka Nacua. I'm going to give it to Puka. 3-1 in the head-to-heads. God, he has JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba versus Rashee Rice. I'm going to give him the nod again. 4-1 for him. Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin. I'm going to give the nod to me. 4-2. Mark Andrews is going double tight end. I'm going DK. 4-3. So if you go off matchups, 4-3 in the other one in favor for me. In favor of me. 4-3 in this one in favor of my opponent. God, this is going to be a scary endeavor. Another guy that has been carrying my team all year, to have him not involved, to have him not in on week 14. I mean, I might not draft any week 14 guys again, with week 14 guys with buys, because you can't afford to lose some of your best guys in this time of the year where you're trying to make the playoffs. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm closing up shop. I'm ending the show. That was a little bit of 55 minutes instead of 60. We'll deal with that. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today, for being a Tea Timer, for following the Tea Time Tailgate. I hope we can do the right thing today. I hope we can turn the tide, get away from the cold streak, start getting hot again. We were hot. We want to heat up again, and I think this is the week to do it. This is the all business week. We had the cold plunge. We had the new coat. I mean, we're throwing the kitchen sink at it. Everything we can, every gimmick. Good luck to you all in your bets. I hope you have a great football Sunday. I hope your fantasy teams win. And as always, how we always end it around here,